Welcome into the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast. Woo-hoo! I'm Ron. That guy over there, that stranger who we haven't seen in almost a month, is John Nikolinsky, my partner, executive producer, and does all things podcasty with us. But also I'm gonna start calling him Meadowlark Lemon. Why would I call John Meadowlark Lemon? You got to be old to get that. Because he's a globetrotter. There you go.
Oh, I thought maybe
all
it was
over the world.
I thought it was the haircut, maybe.
No, that was Curly.
Oh.
Curly was the one who has your...
Was it? Okay.
Anyway, welcome into the podcast. Thank you so much, by the way, for hanging out with us, staying with us. We really appreciate that. Thanks for listening to us. You have the video version, which is happening now on our... I'm going to turn myself up here. I can't hear myself. There we go. You get the video version that's happening now on Facebook, and it's also on YouTube, and I'm going to post this up later on X. And the audio version, which you can find in all the places where you get your podcasts. So thank you so much for hanging out with us and bearing with us, because we've had a couple of weeks off because, well, one of us had to work for a living and go everywhere in the world.
This is true.
Coffee break. Here we go.
Hi. Hold on.
Yes. Oh, and I learned from John, because when I visited John had 4 different types of pumpkin spice, and he had the foam that went on top.
4 different kinds of pumpkin spice. I had one kind of pumpkin spice. I had lots of different creamers, though.
That's what I'm saying. You had the creamers. You had they were all pumpkin spice creamers.
No, they were not.
Yes, they were. You had you had 2.
I had the foam.
Take this computer and go to your refrigerator right now.
I would do that. I have 1 down there, and I'm out of the foam.
You're out of the foam. That's because I used it all. It was awesome. Good morning, Sandy. Put your comments in if you want to interact with us live. That would be great. We'd love to talk to you. Good morning, Sandy. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Hello. There it goes.
Yeah, so I've got the pumpkin spice going on. That's been every cup of coffee for the past month, and I'm not shy about it. And I got the pumpkin spice. I don't know if I said that. I may have posted it. The Cheerios, pumpkin spice Cheerios, and
spice Cheerios.
Oh yes.
Oh my,
so good. And even on the back, there was a puzzle. You could do the puzzle on the back. So it was like you would sit there and and stare at the back of the cereal box, because I'm 12 again.
Love that.
Sat there and ate my pumpkin spice Cheerios, which were wonderful and delicious. And then I was going to give, because when the cats hear, we have 4 cats, by the way, in case you didn't know. When they hear the spoon in a bowl, they think ice cream. And we give them a little bit, but there's some left. You give them a little bit of ice cream, not chocolate, but usually if it's vanilla, whatever, give them a little bit of the cream, the sweet cream. And so when they hear that, the spoon in the bowl, because I don't eat cereal all that often, but now I do because it's pumpkin spice, and they hear that and they are just around. But I looked it up. I said to the greatest way ever, I'm guessing pumpkin spice probably not a good thing for cats, like cloves and stuff like that. That's in the cinnamon, probably not. So I just erred on the side of caution. I did not give the milk that was at the bottom to I did not share it, and they were very bummed. So I've created a monster, because now I've been giving saucers, literally a saucer of milk, to the cats in the morning, and now if they don't get it, it's they've been fed. They got their food.
Right.
They have their dry food and their wet food, and fresh water. And I make sure that I show them it's fresh water, because I replenish the water about 4 times a day, as often as I can. Huh?
That's pretty good.
As often as I can. Yeah, you don't want to let it get stale, and a cat will get dehydrated. They will get dehydrated if they don't drink the water. So you got to show them that it's fresh water. So you stick your finger and you turn it, you stir it around, and they're like, "Oh, okay, I can drink that." But now they're getting the little saucer full of milk.
Okay, on the coffee front, can I just tell you?
Yes,
I'm not a fan of the way UK does coffee.
Oh, well, okay, we're gonna get that. Look, that's the very first thing on my agenda
Okay, well,
to talk about. Okay, because that
because
fold that into.
it's coffee related.
Okay, well, go ahead.
They do
Go
milk.
ahead.
They do not do cream. They are a la half and half. So that is a weird way to have coffee if you're used to having half and half all the time. Now, for those of you who drink it black, no big deal. And quite frankly, if you go to like a Starbucks, which they have over there, or other coffee places, like I want to say, what was it, Cafe Nero? Or there were a bunch of course, Pret, which we have here in the States. I mean, and you get a pumpkin spice latte or whatever. That's fine. That tastes normal.
All right.
But if you're just getting,
It's normal. It's normal.
iced coffee in the morning. Okay.
Right.
I have my first cup, which is hot,
Okay.
and a nice transition. And move
Okay.
on to iced coffee. And you can't get half and half to put in the coffee.
Did you get regular cream?
Nope. I mean, maybe I didn't. They would not have it out or anything.
But they have.
They'd ask if you want milk.
Oh, milk. Yeah, they put milk in tea,
and it's skim milk,
not cream,
not like whole milk or whatever.
Well, I have skim milk, so
I get that. But if you want your drink creamered up or whatever, which I usually do,
right?
Yeah. Nope.
So they don't have cream or half and half, huh?
No.
That's weird. That's interesting to me.
It's different. I mean, that's how you do it.
Well, an elevator is a lift, and an apartment is a flat. And all right, I get it.
Right, and cans have been,
and cookies or biscuits, and
right,
chips or fries, and all right, okay, I got it. And there's a different word almost for everything, but no half and half. That's interesting. I would have never thought that. So that brings me to my next topic, which is John's back. Yay! John, why don't you tell us now? For work, he had to go for his job.
I did,
and he had to film a bunch of commercials, and he had done it here in the U.S. And then the big boss for the worldwide organization said, "Hey, how would you like to do it for the world organization?"
Globally.
So
So we did it in Japan earlier this year. You may recall. Those of you who are regular listeners to the program may recall that. And
program, you did that on purpose. I love it.
I know. And then this time we went to.
I've missed you, John. I'm so happy you're back. I mean, I know we talked on text and everything, but still, it's not the same thing.
No, it is not.
It's not. All right. So anyway, you were saying.
So flew over to the UK. I flew into, let's see, where was it? You have to understand, things got moved around because we ended up leaving like 3 or 4 days later because part of the film crew got sick, which was a whole thing.
Right.
And it was a little nutty. So we had to switch our first destination to be last and blah, 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 move things around. So we ended up in, let me think. Glasgow. Sorry.
Oh, Glasgow. Yeah.
Glasgow.
Go.
Go, not Gow.
And it's a Z, not a S. It's Glasgow.
Right. Ended up there first, then proceeded on to London, had a sidecar trip to Paris, and then finished in Belfast, Northern Ireland.
Okay. Very nice.
So that was kind of how we routed things. And the trip to Paris was me, because I'm a Disney nerd, taking 24 hours out of my schedule and taking the Eurostar, which was the Channel train. You may remember there's a channel or a tunnel that goes under
the English Channel,
under the sea. Yeah, man. So we went over there, 2.5 hours out, and then another 45 minutes to the park. Spent 9 hours in the park, 9 or 10 hours in the park, went to sleep. Thought I was going to go to the parks the next day, woke up and was like, I'm too old for this. And,
okay. Wow. All right.
Like, I can't do it. And took my time, got ready in the morning, packed up, and took the car back to the train, and then came back to the UK for a premiere of my buddy Taylor Morton's film on the documentary on the TV show Lost, called Getting Lost, and that happened in London. That was over the weekend.
Oh,
That was included in all this, where we were filming. We had travel days, then we would have a filming day, and then we would have basically a tourism day, which was the extra day in case something happened that we needed to shoot, because you only get one chance to do these. It's not like we're coming back to the UK. So we had to build in a little padding into the schedule, and we did that, and everything turned out well.
All right, let me ask you, okay? Because now if you've just met John, John, say hi, everyone.
Hi,
world, John.
everyone.
He also has his own website, which is celebrating over 20 years with Intercod, which is a Disney Parks fan site, and you can get all kinds of things about Disney, everything you want to know about Disney Parks, and he's got a podcast that goes along with it. So that's one of the things why he went to. It's not called Euro Disney anymore. It's called Disneyland Paris.
Disneyland Paris. Correct.
Yeah, it was Euro Disney. It was called Euro Disney, right?
Originally.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they made a lot of mistakes when they opened that park.
So give me, if you can, in 1 minute, your assessment of this park as opposed to the Magic Kingdom here in the good old US of A, the mothership.
Had about 3 or 4 things that were the best of.
Really?
In other words, the best in any Disney park.
Because you said the Japanese one was amazing.
That was
is that the best one?
Yeah, that I mean, overall, I would say is the best park overall. As far as rides go, they had the best Thunder Mountain. They had, in my opinion, the best haunted house, which would be called Phantom Manor there. They had the best Small World, I think.
In Paris.
Yeah, in Paris. These are all in Paris.
Oh, wow. All right. Okay. Really?
Yep, those 3. And then I would say they had the coolest thing, which was having a dragon under the castle.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know why we don't have dragons under castles.
Because there wasn't a dragon in Cinderella. That's why. Well, it's Cinderella's castle.
I feel like there should be.
If you go to Sleeping Beauty's castle, which is Disneyland, then you should have a dragon. But that's why there's no dragon. I'm just telling you right now. I don't know if that's true at all. It probably isn't. But that's why. I
just feel like there should be dragons.
There should be. I agree.
It was very cool to see that underneath there.
Pete's dragon should be that.
Yeah.
Was it a cartoony dragon or was it like a?
No, audio animatronic, full on breathing. Blah, blah. Yeah, you can go to the Intercot INTERCOT Facebook page or YouTube, Twitters, whatever you do. I mean,
all right, very good. Yeah. All right, Adney, by the way, I have to mention this because she just posted this up in a comment.
But
according to Google, she says in the United Kingdom, half and half is known as single cream. It's a dairy product that's a blend of equal parts whole milk and light cream with a fat content around 10 to 12%. Yeah, that's what half and half here in the US is, right? It's half milk, half cream.
Yeah, but nowhere did I see that offered at any coffee shop.
Known as single cream. Okay.
It might exist. It just was not out.
Not where John was.
No, pretty much. I mean, I was in 3 countries in the UK plus Paris. Now, Paris, I will say, in the room, so I don't know this for sure in Paris, in the room, they had some sort of substance that you could put in your coffee, and I think I mean, it was creamy.
Okay.
So my guess is it was some cream concoction that is
sort of dairy based. Okay, I got you.
And I put that in there, and that tasted the most like coffee I had since I had been to Europe.
Right. Parlez-vous français?
Negative.
You didn't even try?
No. I was there for 24 hours, man. It was
in Paris.
Literally, I got up at 4 a.m.
No, I got it. You still can't say bonjour.
Clearing customs.
Nothing.
I did not go to the park till almost noon.
All right.
And then stayed in the parks till 10 p.m. Was in bed by 11 and then up the next morning, and I had to catch a noon train back to it was the craziest one. But you know what, Ron?
I'm teasing you, John.
You know this, right?
Yeah. Yes.
having gone through the health scare that you've gone through,
Yes.
there was not a moment in my mind that I thought about not doing any of this stuff. Like it was 24 hours. Yeah, I'm doing it.
Let's go.
I'm going.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
like come on, let's go. I mean,
Let's go.
yeah,
Right.
you only live
Yes.
once,
No, I
man.
hear you.
Let's
No.
do it. And how much is it going to cost? Oh God. Okay. Well,
Oh,
whatever.
okay. I can get a loan. You can always make more money. Can't make more time.
Correct. Yeah, it was definitely one of those moments. I blew an extraordinary amount of money in 24 hours doing that. I did.
Yeah.
I
That's what happens.
probably blew this year's bonus.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Well, but you know what? Life experience and totally worth it, right? You don't have buyer's remorse,
I
right?
visited now 2 new Disney parks
It's all
this
about
year.
the
I
experience.
mean, yeah, I
All
would.
about the experience. Good for
I
you.
had to. I had to.
Good for you.
So it
Okay.
was
So, what's the best thing you ate out of the whole experience? And did you please tell me you went and got fish and chips? I know
did.
you had to go into a pub and you got
I did.
an actual real Guinness draught,
Yes,
and it's
definitely
different.
had that. No,
Different
it's
than
good.
here
It's
in the
so
US.
creamy and good. It's just
Yeah, it's amazing.
wonderful.
Sure.
I did have that. Okay, so food wise,
Yeah, best thing you ate.
I'll give you. Well, I'm going to give you a few at
Okay.
least. Okay,
Okay.
birthday dinner was good. It was at a Michelin rated restaurant.
Okay.
We didn't know when we booked it, but the steak there was amazing. Sorry, I mean it was just okay. I mean that was fantastic. But of like kind of the stuff that I really wanted to try, fish and chips was good. No, zero complaints about the fish and chips. But
Where did you get it? Was it a fish and chip stand?
one of
Was
these
it-
places that's known. One of the, I think it's one of the
No.
like,
Okay.
yeah. I did not do it in London, which
Okay.
I would have liked to have done, but it just things worked out the way they worked out. But
Okay.
I will say I did have a couple meat pies, as it were.
Okay.
Fantastic. One was a Guinness, some sort of Guinness meat pie at a pub somewhere in Northern Ireland near gosh, what it was it the giant rocks. What the heck was it? That's the name of the thing. I'm gonna have to look it up. It's the thing I have the picture on Intercut from.
Okay. Okay.
It's like these giant hexagonal pillars of rocks that came up through the ground. And I have me standing up on the top of one of them. But right outside of where that was, there was a pub and then another pub and restaurant. And we ate in one of those. And that was really good. I mean, it's kind of like a pot pie, only on steroids.
Yep. Yeah, I know.
But just good.
Awesome. Very nice.
Comfort food. And then just the beer. And I had a heck of an old fashioned in our hotel. Our hotel had like a craft bar.
Okay. Nice.
And this was, in Glasgow. And I really enjoyed that too. And had some of the best Indian food I've had in a while too.
Oh,
It's very well known for that. We
yeah,
went to,
absolutely.
supposedly in Glasgow, what was one of the best Indian restaurants potentially in all of Europe.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. And you got to go there. That's awesome.
Like crazy amount of money, but saw some reviews on it and said, yeah, definitely the best in the country and possibly the best in Europe.
Now, and very quickly, because while John was gone, John, you experienced Halloween. You also had a birthday.
Correct.
And you were out of the country for election day.
Yeah, that was weird.
I bet it was, right?
Yeah,
so,
results were coming in at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Okay, right. Because of the time difference.
Yeah.
All right. So, first of all, Halloween, was there anything? What was going on? Where were you?
I mean, we were in London, but I got to be honest with you, we were so tired that we called it a night around 10 o'clock.
Oh.
Just were. I mean,
this
was travel is like, it was brutal. And we were getting up at, 5 o'clock to do shoots. I mean, some of these places that we went to go video, it was like an hour plus on train to get to them or car ride. The last one we went to, we had planned out everything so well the whole time that we were there, just details. And then we were going to do this, we're going to do that, there were two things that we did not plan out well. One was my trip to Euro Disney / Disneyland Paris, not realizing that from the place where the train left off, it was still another 50 minutes to get to them. I could have taken 2 trains, but I Ubered, cost a little extra money. Again.
Okay. There's the cash.
And then the last one was in Belfast, Northern Ireland. We went to this town called Londonderry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure.
Great.
Home of the Dairy Girls.
Right.
Have you ever seen the TV show?
Is it?
Which is awesome. Dairy.
Oh, okay. Dairy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we the night before, I looked up on a map like where we were going, and for whatever reason, I guess things got moved around. None of us had done that. We hadn't looked at it, and I'm like, holy crap, this is like 2 hours from where. So we ended up. Luckily, there was it was one of those. This is a problem. So it was a 2.5 hour train ride.
Okay.
Going from the center of city out to Londonderry, and then 2.5 hours coming back. But we were able to do it. I rode more trains in the course of 2 weeks than I've ridden in a long time, and we did an overnight sleeper car too.
Sheldon Cooper would be very proud of you.
Really?
So
loves trains
from The Big Bang Theory.
Right.
Okay.
Train fan?
Yes.
Okay.
You didn't know that about Sheldon Cooper? I know a lot of trivia about that. So, okay. So Halloween, you went to bed, and then your birthday. What did you do for your birthday? Because you weren't home, and you turned, 46, 47?
Keep going.
I know how old you are, John.
Add another one.
But you're younger than I. Relax.
Yes.
So you're good.
I'll always be younger than you.
Huh?
I said I'll always be younger.
You'll always be younger than I.
Yes.
But anyway, so what'd you do for your birthday?
Well, I as far as on my birthday, we went out to dinner at that what turned out to be a Michelin restaurant.
Okay.
So not know it at that
the
time.
Birthday dinner was the mistake.
My birthday treat to myself was going with my friend Maxim over there to a Hotspurs game, soccer, football, whatever.
Sure.
Got VIP tickets.
Wow.
Whole experience,
the whole thing.
Yeah, food was included, drinks.
Did you sing any of the songs? They got a lot of songs. A lot of songs.
I was getting into it a little bit. It was awesome. They ended up winning 4-1, so it was a good day. In the state, and that was one of 2 football games I went to while I was overseas. I went to
while you were gone, and we experienced Halloween here. We have been going through here on the East Coast. I don't know about the rest of the country, but here on the East Coast, Mid-Atlantic, we've been going through a drought. We haven't had rain in over 30 some odd days. And but it's been really nice. The temperatures have been in the 70s. We were pushing 80 last week. And now consequently, it's also pushed back the leaves changing and
the change. It's a beautiful time of year up there.
But what happens is, though, then you get a cold front that comes through.
Right.
And with what brings in a cold front would be the winds going from a high density to a low density.
Meteorologist.
So it blows all the leaves off the trees. So now you just look at sticks until March. But
sad.
On Halloween, almost said Thanksgiving. On Halloween, I got home. We had gone out, and Grady's wife ever and I, we finally wised up. We did not buy any Halloween candy until Halloween. We didn't have it in the house, because if it's in the house, I'm gonna eat it. I'm sorry. I mean, we'd buy our favorites. We'd buy hers is Reese's peanut butter cups, and mine is Snickers. And if they're in the house, I would eat them. I would eat it.
Yeah.
So we did not go and buy Halloween candy until Halloween, and then even then, and I came home, and we took all of those bushes in our front yard are gone. So now we have a front yard.
Right. Yeah,
And
you mentioned
she had set up our 2 camping chairs, our folding chairs are out front. And we had our little automated guy whose name escapes me now, but you put candy in his bowl and then he's motion activated. So it's, would you like a treat? I forget what his name is. We've had him for 1,000 years, and his foot was broken for a while, but now he's back. And and so he was out, and then we just sat there, and like 2 doors up, somebody had they had a little fire going and then a little fire pit going. But you didn't need it because it was very warm. It was nice. We just sat out there. I was just out there in a t-shirt and just handing out candy, and it was great for the kids that came up. Now, a thing I noticed is that we've the age in our neighborhood, I guess, has gone up. We've aged down, because now we're grandparents. So our girls are all grown up and gone. So, and it used to be a very popular spot because we're in a townhouse, so it was high density. Trick-or-treating. You got more candy and you didn't have to walk that far. And I know that the daughter, the elder, took her son, our grandson, 6 years old, little GS1, to this neighborhood, and they call it the show because it's a big neighborhood. You take them there and that's it. You're getting but you're also going to walk probably about 2 or 3 miles, 2.5 miles to get around this entire neighborhood if you're going to hit all of them. And I heard that it wasn't, it was okay. It wasn't great. I don't know what's going on with the trick-or-treating, but it's not, you don't have like huge gaggles of kids walking and trick-or-treating, and you're just constantly just handing out candy. It was not happening like that.
All the trunk and treats and that kind of stuff.
Trunk or treats. I did a couple of those. I hosted those for the radio station, and which was a lot of fun. We did have a lot of trunk-or-treaters that came through. That was one at the YMCA in Frederick, so that was a lot of fun. And we Key 103 hosted one at the Frederick Fairgrounds, and so we had a lot of people that came through with that, and that was an event because we had a DJ. It turned it into a dance, basically, like a Halloween party, because we had a DJ that was jamming it out. Steve actually works at the radio station, and then there was a food truck, and people were lining up and getting food and having dinner, and there was a costume contest. It was a lot of fun. But I noticed that the trick-or-treating, I don't know. I mean, I don't think the children's population has gone down that much. But there were not that many that rolled through our neighborhood. It was very, very interesting. And this is the first year, and we're a little bummed about this. We did go, a friend of ours had a birthday, and her birthday was on the Saturday before Halloween. And that we went to this. She wanted to go to these haunted woods, and that was a big, fat, hairy deal. These haunted woods, and it's in Poolesville, Maryland. It's Markoff, I think, is what it's called. And you go there, and it's a half hour to walk through the whole thing, and it's very intricate with their decorations. Now, Greatest Wife Ever and I, we didn't go, but we went with them to first. We got to a bar, and we got some drinks, and then we went to, and they have what's called the Midway, and they have all these buildings. Hang on, cough. It was right there, man. I had the Flemboys, Peggy Fleming. So, so you're at the Midway, and it had all these facades, all these buildings, and it looked very haunted housey, Harry Pottery kind of thing, actually. The architecture, and they had oh my God, they had 3 huge bonfires, with whole trees in them. The branches were cut off, but these huge logs, and they had barriers around them so you couldn't get too close to them. But it kicked off enough heat that they were nice and warm, and of course the weather was really, really nice. So we went to this and we got fresh donuts. I mean, have you ever had a hot donut?
Yeah.
It was almost too hot to eat. Oh my God, it was amazing. It was amazing. That was like the best part of the night. And there was a bar you could get beer and wine and in the Midway, waiting for your number to be called so you could go through the haunted trail.
The haunted trail.
So we went to that, And greatest wife ever. And I realized that this is the first time we have not gone to and get dressed up in a costume and went to a party. We
Oh,
did.
really?
We did not.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
I
I
mean,
know.
it happens.
I had a couple of well, no,
You
no,
gotta
I
grow
know it
up
happens, but this was the
sometime.
first time because we have thrown Halloween parties before, and we have gone to a bunch and won a bunch of Halloween contests because greatest wife ever, of course, she's in her creative
Right.
mind gets gets into gear. I mean, it's we win. That's all there is to it. So did not happen this year. It was just, yeah, I know. So we'll see what happens next year. But yeah, that was the first time. And we went down to I had to like throw a costume together. We even went down into the to go out on a broadcast. And we went down into we have a closet underneath the stairway going in the basement. And that's where all the costumes are. You're looking at all the memories like, oh, I remember that. Oh, yeah, I remember that. James just posted a comment on our Facebook page. The schools nowadays are doing things called trunk or treating. Yeah, it's a lot easier for the parents and fun for the kids. They do it at the parking lots and they open up the trunk.
But
And
is
that's
it
their
as fun?
experience. Yeah.
Is it
Huh?
as fun as going out and going door to
Well,
door?
if they don't know anything any different, then why not? I mean, I remember trick or treating in my neighborhood. You
I
had to
love
make it to
it.
the back of the night. I lived
Yeah,
in it was, I mean, I'd have to say it was suburban neighborhood USA. It
right.
was Mechanicsville, Virginia. It was called Holly Ridge, and the streets were in a grid,
Mhm.
and you just
Yeah,
walked up and down the
yeah,
streets, and that was it. And you made it
that's the
all the way to
thing.
the back of the neighborhood, and made it all the way up to you. There was a loop, and it was a large amount of candy. It
Yeah,
was amazing.
I don't know. I think the trunk or treating is. I think we need to go back to going house to house.
The house to house,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I don't, I guess so.
Too easy. Too easy. You gotta
all
work
I
for
know
your
is that I
candy.
just sat. It was a gorgeous
Yeah,
night. We just sat
yeah,
and we gave out literally all of the candy. I
yeah.
mean, we were so there were no leftovers. We didn't take anything back into the house.
Nice.
So I was very,
Oh,
very
that's
proud of
good.
myself.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Sandy says she loves Markov's. They have a Christmas walk through trail too.
I saw that, Sandy, and I want to go back to that. They had a big book that was open, a big storybook for
Oh,
Christmas. And
oh,
I saw that. So, and I'm like, I told Grace wife ever, I'm like, we're coming back to this, right?
right.
It's going to be a little cold, but
We
yeah,
shall
but
return.
they'll have the fires, and maybe they'll put all the Christmas lights up on all of the houses that were previously spooky, and they'll have holiday music.
Yeah,
It's gonna be, yeah. So
yeah.
we gotta plan on doing that.
Love that.
Now, speaking of which, then we've
Yeah.
moved into the Thanksgiving time of year.
A
And
recap. What was the what were the in between times and stuff at your daughter's season?
Daughter of the
Yeah,
Elder? Yeah,
yeah. What did we go from?
we are currently in a period called harvest.
Harvest. That's
This
right.
was right.
That's
This was at at Labor Day. That is the beginning of fall for
right.
her.
Right.
And then in October is Halloween for the month.
Yep.
And then right after November 1st, it's harvest until Thanksgiving. And then, although
Yeah.
she has her Christmas tree up, I'm
And
just gonna say,
during
well,
Christmas?
she went and bought a new one. She
Okay.
and her husband went and bought a new
She's like,
uh,
why not?
a fake tree,
That's
and they
good.
had to put it up. She's trying to get used to it. She wanted to put it up and see.
Right.
James just posted Whamageddon is coming soon. I know, James. I know. I've already been listening to Christmas music, and I listened to something. And I'm just gonna say it. Okay, look. We all know that I was laid off, and a lot of people lost their jobs from SiriusXM. But
Right.
SiriusXM launched all their Christmas channels on November 1st, and I was there. I was listening. I was listening
Yeah,
to
no,
Holly. I'm sorry, I am. I was listening to Holly. I was listening to the Jimmy Fallon's got his own. I mean, it's not a plug
Rusty's
for the
got his own
service, but
Christmas.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was listening. And I've
Yeah.
got my own playlist too
Yeah.
that I put together, and I've been listening to that as well. Okay, so
And here, 98.7, The River. has
Yeah.
gone all Christmas.
Have they gone?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they've already changed.
They've already changed. Yeah, they got the commercials running on TV and everything.
Now, one of the stations where I work, I don't know if I've mentioned this here, and I probably should. I now also do mornings on our country station, which is there's a bunch of stations in the Manning media. I do
Right.
afternoon drive on Key 103, WAFY, and it's what you would call a hot AC. And
don't
I
think
have
that's
done
for those
evenings on our classic hit station, 106.9 The Eagle.
right.
And
Are you
speaking of
working
which,
at like 3 stations now?
I'm off Eagle. Now I'm doing mornings
Oh.
on I do mornings. I'm back to mornings on our country station, Max Country, 100.5 and 93.5. Max Country.
The most music in the morning.
It's, well, maximum.
Yeah,
It's
maximum. music in the
maximum.
morning.
It's maximum country.
Yeah.
And it's great to do a little bit of get that morning vibe going again. And
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna be partly sunny and up to 65. And
Do you
here's
do
Grace Atkins.
traffic?
And here's, I mean, and it's
Do
good.
you do,
country.
do you
It's
do
good.
traffic? Do you do
No.
traffic
We're not doing traffic. It's 54 minutes of continuous
Well,
country.
that's a lot of music.
One what we call in the industry, they call it one stop set. We
Really?
do one stop set.
Wow.
One. That's
Holy
it.
shnikes.
That's it. The rest of it is all
A lot of music.
and it's just one after the other, after the other, after the other. I mean, I don't stop the music at all. I'm talking over intros just to get,
Oh, so
just to say, hey, it's Tuesday and it's
we don't do the we interrupt this song to tell you we're going to play another song.
No.
Okay, good.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
54 minutes of continuous country. Continuous being the operative word.
Maximum country.
But anyway, we're going to be going Max Country is going to be going Christmas in a couple of weeks.
So do you play country Christmas stuff?
All of it.
Oh, you just do go Christmas, period.
Go Christmas, but also, I mean, there'll be a Garth song in there and Carrie Underwood and all of that.
Just curious.
But in addition, of course, there's
the classics.
Yeah, Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra and
I got you.
Yeah, the classics. Gene Autry, who was a country and western artist who was. Yeah, Here Comes Santa Claus. Elvis is in there. I'm excited about that. That's going to be fun. I've been listening to Christmas music, and we are going to be doing our first Christmas movie tonight.
Yeah.
Because it just came out in theaters, called The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. Oh. And I just bought my tickets online. I was going to get senior tickets, but it's
sorry.
What? I've bought senior tickets before. I did. We took our grandson to go see a movie. He was 12 and under. He's under 12, so I didn't pay full price for him. And then Grace, my favorite, and I got senior tickets.
It had to happen at some point.
Why not?
Well, hey, take the discount.
I tweeted about it, by the way. I felt I had mixed feelings.
I know.
I was like, yay, I saved money. And I'm like, it's senior.
That happens every once in a while. I go into Dunkin' or whatever, and as they're ringing up my stuff, they apply the senior discount without asking me. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel about it too. It's like, I don't know if I should be upset about that.
Okay. you
just being nice.
Almost wore my pumpkin spice coffee.
I know.
Without asking. Now that's rude.
Well, well, it is a discount. So
yeah,
I have conflicted feelings about that.
So we're going to go see a Christmas movie tonight. Best Christmas Pageant Ever. Judy Greer, Pete Holmes is in it. It's based on a book. I'm trying not to watch too much of the trailer because trailers now are spoilers, and I try not to. The greatest wife ever. If she starts to see a trailer, or even when they show like scenes from next week, she's like, no, and she won't watch it. And I'm with her now on that.
Yeah.
It didn't used to, but now it does. Now it spoils it when I find out. So I try not to watch trailers. I did see probably more than I should have about this movie, but I'm still excited and I'm still ready. It's going to be popcorn for dinner, and I am so stoked to go see a Christmas movie. I remember when we saw Elf in the theater. We saw all the recent ones, over the past 20 years in the theater. But I remember when Disney came out with their animated A Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey played like a bunch of parts.
Oh yeah.
We went to go see it and we saw it in IMAX 3D. And I had both daughters with me, and it was so it was a while ago, right? And both daughters, so it was the whole family, and we're there. And I swear, when the all of the trailers had happened and all that stuff, and then you hear the logo, you see the Disney logo that comes up, and then image movers, and the music starts. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
and it zoomed in on the book. And it opened, and I was in tears. I was so happy that it was like I was vibrating. I was so happy that it was a Christmas movie. And I'm looking at my daughter, and she's like, "Okay, Dad."
All right.
And I'm like, "This is awesome. This is so good." I loved it. Now I know that that's one of those motion capture movies that's got the uncanny valley and the eyes look dead and all that stuff, and I get it.
Yeah.
And they tried really hard. Robert Zemeckis was the director, and they tried. But some of it's it's kind of creepy to look at the faces of the you look at the eyes, like it doesn't it's not a real person. It's funny when they do that with the animation. What they call it, the uncanny valley.
Right.
Where it approaches, you just are revulsed by it.
I hate it.
Repelled, yeah. Huh?
I will not watch.
You don't like what's the other big one Robert Zemeckis did? The Polar Express.
Yeah, the Polar Express. I hate it. I honestly hate that movie.
I can't watch that movie.
It's so creepy.
It's creepy, but I love it anyway.
No.
Come on.
No. Wow. That'd be a no.
All right. What's now I did want to get I'm sorry, I wanted to get into this because it is Thanksgiving time. And I had to do this because I've noticed now there are no, or at least I don't see them, any cooking shows with like recipes and somebody showing you how to cook something on the Food Network anymore. It's all all competition shows. It's all guys grocery games, or it's what's the one now? Oh, the baking holiday baking championship. We were watching one last night, and it was like the holiday baking. They were making a cake,
right?
And then they had to include. It was for Thanksgiving, and they had to include something, 3D. Make it really big and ornate. So they were making a cornucopia. They were making turkey or whatever. I fell asleep during the judging. And then the one right after that was the holiday. I'm like, wait a minute, aren't they? It was totally two different hosts, and it was the holiday cookie challenge. And I'm like,
no,
there's nobody.
Come on, show me how to make something, would you?
So I literally last Sunday was on Max, because all the stuff's on Max now because there was the merge of the
right
with whatever. But that's where all the Alton Brown shows are for Good Eats. And I went back and I found the Good Eats turkey recipe just to watch that episode again, because I've been doing the Good Eats turkey, the brined turkey, for probably 20 years now.
Right.
I watched that episode.
Love that.
And I was like, because he explained it scientifically that why you brine a bird, and that the cells of the meat and the osmosis, and it brings the salt actually literally into the cell of the meat, so you can't cook it out. The flavor is already in there. So what you put in the brine, and it was like allspice berries and whole peppercorns and candied ginger, and you use and a whole cup of salt. That's why it's a brine. It's not a marinade. It's a high salt. And I watched this when I first saw it, and I've been doing that turkey ever since. And it's changed my holiday. This is the Good Eats turkey. I tell everybody I can.
It is good.
Make a Good Eats turkey. Have you done it? Have you done the brine?
Yeah, we do the brine thing. In fact, you may have turned us on to it.
Okay.
Well, to do it. So
yeah. Well, you can't see any of that stuff. There's no Rachel Ray doing any recipes for turkey. There's no Chef Gordon Ramsay doing this spatchcock turkey where you there's none of those shows anymore. And I'm like, I miss that.
Ooh.
I miss that about the Food Network. It's all cooking competition shows or Chopped.
Yeah.
There's another cooking competition show, and I'm lamenting the fact that I'm missing these, even though I already know the recipes and I know what I want to do. I'd like to watch you do it. What do you do? What's different? What's
Right.
new?
Well, that's half the fun of it. I don't know. It's kind of like MTV doesn't play music anymore. It's like, why are you there?
Why are you called MTV?
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. Change the name of your network or something, would you? I mean, the Food Network is not just cooking competition. It should be the Cooking Competition Network or something stupid.
Right.
I mean,
I know. It's just and now there's another channel which I don't get actually, which is a spin-off of the Food Network, which is called The Cooking Channel.
oh, okay.
And that's where they have all the recipes, but they don't have it on the Food Network anymore. A little.
I'm sure for another $4.99 a month you can pay to have that.
Probably. But you know what I haven't done, and I feel really bad about this because I'm kind of dumb about it, is that we have Roku, right? We have Roku downstairs. We have Roku up in our bedroom.
Yeah.
And they have hundreds of channels.
They literally do. Yeah.
Of channels.
Great.
And I'm sure I could find maybe a recipe channel.
Pluto TV has
I was
it
watching
too.
the GQ channel one time, and it was all about the best bars.
Yeah.
And they went into all these bars and looked and drank these cocktails. I'm like, why am I not watching this channel? And they have a bunch of channels. So maybe I'll find a recipe channel on this.
Yeah, you can do that. There's so many channels out there now. So I'm with you.
Jim just posted up on our Facebook page the link to the Food Network recipes, Alton Brown, Good Eats, roast turkey recipe. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I have it. Look, I have the app is on my phone. I have the Food Network app, and I printed it out, the recipe 20 years ago from the Food Network, and it's in our Betty Crocker cookbook. And you take the Betty Crocker cookbook out, and you sit it on its spine, and it just goes, and it opens up to our favorite recipes. There's, you can see. Now I memorized the one in that on how to make pancakes from scratch, but there's the wassail. You turned me on to wassail, my friend. Wassail. Yes, which is spiced apple cider, so good.
Yeah,
and
put a little bourbon in there or whiskey.
You know what I've been putting in there is the apple pie or a whiskey, an apple whiskey.
Yeah, that would work too.
Yeah, so Crown Apple or something like that in the
caramel whiskey. You can get that
pretty decent
whiskey.
All right, so we're running. We got about 12 minutes. All right, so I have been listening to Christmas music. I did pull the trigger on the movie, but we haven't. Although the house is full of decorations that are about to go out for a Christmas bash for kids, which is a charity concert that Greatest Wife Ever and I put on, and all of these great bands that donate all of their time for free. They play the show for free, and then we get 100% of the proceeds of the door. But we had 60 boxes to wrap, and the Greatest Wife Ever has been wrapping these 60 boxes and stack them. Now, she did something pretty ingenious, because it's like, there's no way we're going to be able to transport all of this over to the venue, over at the Moose Lodge. That's right. We're doing it at the Moose Lodge. So what she did, smart, because how many sides are there to a cube? A box. 6 sides, right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Correct?
Yes.
It's got 4 sides and then top and bottom.
Right.
Well, when we're putting the boxes together, she leaves one end open. So she opens up the flaps and then tapes that up. So one end's open. So we nest them like Russian dolls. So we've got big box and the other one goes. So you're only wrapping 5 sides. When she did that last year, I'm like, oh, there you go.
Does that make it more difficult to wrap?
Cookie.
I gotta ask.
Yes, it does. It makes it infinitely more difficult to wrap. Right. But she's figured out a system how to do that too, and she taught me how to do this flap and fold that over and and get it done. So we have all these boxes wrapped, and then you just and of course the cats just love to get inside boxes, so they're turned upside down. But
You got
but
it.
you nest them, and that way we'll be able to transport them. So you got like 6 boxes that go all the way up to the ceiling, but they're in the one large box. So what I thought was, so we have that, but we won't pull the trigger on Christmas decorations until Black Friday. When
Really?
yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I think it's going to be a matter of when I have time to do it.
Now, John here,
Yeah.
sorry, John over there, is that guy was like the king of outdoor illumination and decoration. That was a great phase of your life, but you've phased out of that. You basically have retired from that.
I mean, yeah, except for
Yeah.
my own amusement in the backyard where I have about 6 or 7 wire frames.
Oh, just for you. I like that.
Yeah, no, when I sold all my Christmas light display, which is at Big Red's Ranch in Brownsville, Texas, by the way, if you ever want to go see the stuff that used to be in my display, I sold it to them, and they put on a very nice holiday thing down there, and it benefits.
Did they do the music too?
Yeah, they do. They have the whole schmeal, the schmazel.
John, we'll have to get into this when we have another show, but get into your Christmas decorations, because he had a low frequency, like what? 1 watt or low power,
1 watt flamethrower. Yeah.
1 watt radio station.
Yeah.
Cranking out the music. And then was it every 10 minutes or every 15
every
minutes?
15 minutes.
Every 15 minutes he had a show.
Yeah.
Synchronized to the music. So the music would start, and then the displays would happen.
Yep.
And then he had a constant line of traffic through the neighborhood. Did you ever hear from the HOA, or you were president of the HOA?
No, it was no, I was not president. I was on the board.
No?
But no, actually it was every 20 minutes. Sorry, Ron.
Okay.
And that allowed a 8 to 10 or 12-minute show to run. And then there was a space. People would pull out, and the next group of cars would pull in, and it was very orderly the way it worked. So nobody ever complained, really.
And then one time you put out a
dead end either. So I was ideally situated where people could come in and get out. And we were right next to the community center where there was a parking lot.
I remember that.
So people could park and walk up and look at it too. So yeah.
And the neighbors on either side. No,
they were into it. They liked it. So
we'll get more into that in a little bit. But right now we've got a little bit of time. It is time to get the gray matter working, firing off the synapses, engage for the lobe, form new neural networks, utilize the cerebrum. As Pooh says, it's time to
think.
Dang, it's the dun 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 question of the day. We like to call it the QOD. By the way, I didn't put a question mark at the end of that, John, if you're going to post that.
Yeah, that might be good if I actually I'm a little out of form here. I'm
not an actual question
in the thing now. So
it's the question of the day for pride, not prize. Now we are in the middle of the Thanksgiving prep. It's only 2 weeks away from Thursday. I can't believe it. I mean, time is just racing at us. And so here is today's question of the day. Are you ready? Here we go.
Ready.
Why do we get drowsy after the Thanksgiving meal? A big Thanksgiving meal, and we get drowsy and maybe even nap, maybe even undo that top button and throw the football game on. It's just like,
yeah.
Why do we get drowsy after the Thanksgiving meal? And put your answers in the comment section, and good luck. Bing, a bing, a bing, bing, ding. I haven't done my my chicken dress rehearsal. I usually like to get a chicken and roast it and do a dress rehearsal for the Thanksgiving meal. And
really, so you brine it and do the things you normally would do, or what?
No, I just roast it, but still. But I like to have stuffing and mashed potatoes with it, and apparently,
yeah.
Apparently, and we get closer to Thanksgiving. I'm the greatest wife ever, and I do something that people highly object to in the Thanksgiving meal. So the people that I've talked to people at the radio station.
What is it?
I'll tell you when we get closer.
What is it?
That's called a tease, everybody. All
Okay.
right. So here's the question of the day one more time.
Segment. You stay right there.
Why? We'll be right back
We'll be right back.
with Witchy Poo and all the gang in the Croft Superstar Hour. All right.
All right.
What? Wow, that was a
Heed.
pull. That was a pull. Heed.
Pamper. No.
Dune in front.
Dude in front.
It's probably got its own weather system.
Weather system. A huge
He's
cranium.
probably crying on his huge pillow of his.
It's funny stuff.
All right, here we go. The question of the day one more time.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you what that's from.
No.
I'm not telling you. That's a
We'll
deep
figure it out.
All right. Why do we get drowsy after the Thanksgiving meal?
Mhm.
Very simple question. And
Oh,
here
hold
come
on.
the answers.
We've got a few interesting.
JY, the travel guy. I just saw
You
that
just
on the
noticed
bottom of
that?
your picture. Yeah, I did.
Okay, here we go.
All right, here we go. Jim says tryptophan. That is incorrect.
Oh,
Sorry.
hold on.
Canadian apology. Oh, Sandy tryptophan.
Hey, hold on.
Wow. Hold on.
Zach's rocking the boat here.
Yeah,
Hold on,
what's
ready?
Zach say? Boom! That's it, Zach. There it is. Carbohydrates. That is correct.
By the way, Sandy corrected herself.
Actually, tryptophan and high carb content. Oh, okay. Well, you're half right and half wrong. Yeah, no, I learned that many, many years ago during the question of the day back on the old morning show.
Yeah.
And I learned that it's not tryptophan. It's just traces. They're traces of tryptophan. We're not going to a turkey coma. It ain't from the turkey. It's from the mashed potatoes and the sweet potatoes and the stuffing and all the carbs.
Yeah.
Which is, when you carbo load and you get a lot of sugar and it converts it to sugar.
Mm.
Yeah. So, yes,
Interesting.
it's the carbohydrates. Very nice. Zach is back in form, by the way. That Zach always has the right answer to the question of the day.
Zach.
And now he's back.
Yes.
He's back, everybody. I'm so excited that Zach was able to pull that off. All right. Look, usually John has to bolt because he's got to get back to work. But actually, I've got to get going too because I have an appointment that I got to run to. I know. It's weird.
That's all right. I got a lot of stuff to catch up on, believe it or
Yeah,
not.
I bet you do. Now, you told me that you're going to be traveling.
Yeah. Like tomorrow I'm in DC.
Right.
A week after that, I'm in Dallas.
Are we going to be able to do this is my question.
Yeah, I think we're good for next week.
Okay. All right.
I don't think I leave till later in the week.
Okay. All right.
He says, looking at his calendar.
You just told me all of the stuff that you were doing, and I'm like, oh no, can we?
Yeah, I don't fly out till Wednesday next week. Yep. And then we've got Thanksgiving, which is nice, that the next week. And then the week following that, though, there may be a little speed bump. We may have to move the day.
Okay.
Because I will be in Huntsville, Alabama.
Mm-hmm. All right. So then, so we're planning ahead. We will, the week of Thanksgiving, we'll have our Thanksgiving show.
Yep.
So we will have wonderful things to eat and share that meal with you.
Yep.
And John and I are going to have a conversation, figure out how we can get you involved so that you're actually on the screen with us. We have to figure out a way to do that. We'll figure it out in some fashion. Maybe we have a giant Zoom meeting.
I do not know. I'll have to look and see.
We'll figure it out. But we would love to have everybody just join
board.
Have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
With that, and then ask the QOD live.
We might have a limit to the number of people we can bring on board here.
Maybe.
But,
well, I mean, with the 8 viewers that we have,
I know.
Right.
Well, there you go.
Should have plenty of room for everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's be honest. Come on.
It's fine.
Come on.
It's fine.
We're not growing the podcast.
Most people listen after we record it. We're not.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
If there's some shrinkage,
I get it afterwards.
Shrinkage.
All right. Listen. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and joining us and post up and click all the likes and subscribe and all on YouTube and Facebook. And thank you. I'm going to post this up a little bit later on X, and I'm going to figure out a way how we can go Instagram live. But other than that, you listen to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And thanks again. And welcome back, John. We really did miss you. I certainly did miss actually speaking with you.
Yes.
So it's great to actually see you again. And that's it. Listen, please take care of yourselves and each other. Please be safe. John Yaglensky, Ron Ross. Love you, mean it. Bicycle.